as I'm going to say in a little bit, I think we're here because truth matters.
Yes.
And we're experiencing a time when truth is very fluid. And you cannot build community without acknowledging truth. And the true story of Carrboro has some wonderful, wonderful chapters, and it also has some ugly chapters. And we're here to acknowledge that so we can continue building a community that is based on everybody's story and is a place where everybody feels that they can continue their story. And that's why this matters.
Alderwoman Gist, this is her project. You brought this from Richmond? Is that where you saw it first? In Richmond? Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm sorry. Fredericksburg, Virginia. But there is more planned. This is not the only plaque. This is just the beginning. As the task force begins to, or continues to meet, and to delve deeper into the history of Carrboro.
So what we've done is after we wrote this plaque, we realized there's a lot more than just the name that needs to be told. Times of economic injustice, racial injustice, and so we want to tell more.
I think it's very exciting, and what's most exciting about it to me is that this is not a one-off, that it's a part of an ongoing story that's going to be told, and so it's very exciting, especially in light of what's going on nationwide and in our neighboring towns as well.
Right? But truth matters. And it's really important for a community to tell its truth, and to tell its truth in a way that resonates with everybody and doesn't leave anybody out, because otherwise you cannot build community. What you're building then is a facade of community. Now, we're not perfect, but we are dedicated to each other, and that's the reason why telling the truth is important. Telling the truth during an era when there's a rise in racism and a rise in hatred is even more important. So when Charlottesville happened, our committee's been working together for a long time, and we are kind of a result of Charlottesville. When Charlottesville happened and more attention began to focus on the evil statue down on campus and of the man who unveiled the statue and made a horrific speech, and we're named after him. That's the truth, right? But we're more than that. We're also a community that over the years has fought for truth and has fought for equality, and leaders of the civil rights movement, many of whom are on this porch with us, worked to create a new truth. And so that's what brings us here today. This group has been working for almost 2 years. Now, telling the truth is important, and telling the truth isn't as easy as one might suppose when you have a room full of people, each with a slightly different way of how to exactly tell the truth. So we went through a great exercise in community, right? And we came out stronger for it, and that brings us here today. I want to acknowledge the people, the truth tellers. And I want to start by acknowledging a truth teller who's not with us today, who is one of the great truth tellers of our community. Fred Battle was not afraid to tell truth to power, and we are all the beneficiaries of Fred. And Fred, we miss you today. So on the committee, the original committee to write the truth plaque is May McLendon. May's not here, I'm sorry. Braxton Fucci, Terry Buckner, who was the co-chair, Gary Phillips, our poet laureate, who can't be with us today, Jonathan Gerard, who's no longer on the committee, Richard Ellington, who also was a long time, many generation Carrboro resident who couldn't be with us today, Jake Thorne, Nick Graham was part and parcel of our committee. Nick is the head archivist for the university, so he had some interesting insights for us and helped us with wording. Ronnie Dossie, did I pronounce that right? I'm so sorry, I'm horrible at that. Lily Atwater, Lewis Atwater, Dolores Clark, Charles Austin, and Nate Davis. And all these people came together to celebrate the community who they are and to help build new community. Anyone else? Terry, would you like to? And so what I'm going to do, Lily and I are going to unveil the truth plaque. And then would you like to read it? Yes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, let there be light.
Hey Lily, turn around.
Carrboro's roots began in the late 19th century when a branch of the North Carolina Railroad extended south to the edge of Chapel Hill, and the first local textile mill opened nearby. Informally known as West End and Lloydville, the community incorporated as a town named Venable in 1911. 2 years later, the state legislature renamed the town Carrboro at the request of Julian S. Carr, a post-Civil War business leader. He was also an active and influential participant in Jim Crow-era efforts to create a system of racial segregation. Although the town continues to bear his name, the values and actions of Carr do not represent Carrboro today. In the 1970s, a group of Carrboro residents joined together to change the town's power structure and to advocate for a community that fully included all residents. Thanks to their commitment, today, Carrboro honors its working class roots while reaching toward the goals of social equity, environmental harmony, and fiscal responsibility. Adopted January 22nd, 2019, the Carrboro Truth Plaque Task Force approved February 5th, 2019, Carrboro Board of Aldermen.
Very good.
They make me do that.
And one final comment. We discovered in writing the truth plaque that our truth doesn't end with one plaque. And like Fredericksburg, there are many areas around Carrboro that speak to the history of our whole community and to the African American community in particular. And so the Truth Plaque Task Force is going to continue and work on plaques about other historic areas, starting with where the car wash is now, which had been the Freedmen's School, which was founded by the Quakers, and that's the next project. So we're open to other people coming and joining us. This is not a closed group, so please come join us. And thank you very much for being here today, and keep speaking the truth.
Yeah.